my name is Rosalind Neville and I'm a junior at Farmington High School. The title of my Leadership Star event is Leading by Example, Leadership Throughout the Years. Throughout this project, I will demonstrate my use of the Fccla planning process. I use this planning process in order to allocate my time so that I would not be super stressed out. I also use this planning process so that I could balance my school workload as well as this project workload. I utilized the Fccla planning process in our recent Thanksgiving dinner that we put together as an Fccla organization. We wanted to have a night of family, friends, food, and fun for people who are less fortunate in our community. In order to do this, we identified concerns such as how many people would be in attendance and how much food and money would we need to feed them. We also identified concerns such as where would all of the help come from? Then we set goals. We set a goal to get all of our money donated by local grocers. We also set a goal to work with the National Honor Society, the choir, the band, and the student body officers. We formed a plan and split up as a leadership organization to go talk to each of these groups. We also split up who would go to each local grocer. We ended up having all of our money and food donated by our local grocers. We also ended up having over 50 people who are less fortunate in our community in attendance of this great service dinner. Throughout my life, I've held many leadership positions that have prepared me to become the leader of tomorrow. In 6th grade, I was a captain of the Battle of the Books team. I also served as a bookend. In 7th grade, I served in ecclesiastical leadership. In 8th grade, I was a Patriot volunteer and also a library media aid volunteer. In 9th grade, I served as president of our National Junior Honor Society, captain of the NAL third quarter team, and president of our current issues class. In 10th grade, I served as a youth camp volunteer, and then I also am currently serving as a Phoenix ambassador, a member of the National Honor Society, president of our Fccla organization, and I was serving in debate leadership and was recently elected to be the speech and debate president for next year. When I look at these leadership experiences, two really stand out to me as having shaped me to become the leader I am today. Being president of the National Junior Honor Society gave me a unique experience with organizing service projects. During my time as the National Junior Honor Society president, we had a huge service project where I volunteered for about a month every day during lunch to sell snacks and other things to raise money for the Northridge High Food Pantry. We ended up raising over $13,000, which was a significant accomplishment for our organization. I also served this year as captain of an NAL third quarter team. This made my 9th grade year a ton of fun. I learned how to effectively lead and work with a group in order to create a project in a limited amount of time. Both of these experiences have prepared me to become the leader I am today. When looking through all of these observations, I got my first observation from Walker Tracy, who was my previous debate partner and also is currently serving as our debate captain. And then I got my second observation from Cassie Hendricks, who is my debate coach, and my third observation from Brenda Cross, who is my Fccla advisor. They all ranked me highest in my critical thinking and workplace skills, but ranked me lowest in effective interpersonal and personal relationships. These observation inventories were really helpful because I was a lot harder on myself than they were on me. It was nice to see that I was doing a good job as a leader, and it was also nice to get some improvements that I could work on. So when I was reflecting on a leader who has really changed my life, I immediately thought of my elementary school librarian, Mrs. Liu. Mrs. Liu really inspired me, and she gave me leadership positions that allowed me to blossom. Mrs. Liu was a leader by example. She never asked someone to do something that she wouldn't do herself. She also led by kindness. She commanded respect without demanding it. Through her, I learned that a leader is kind, and that a leader is an example to all that follow them. Mrs. Liu also did something amazing. She saw my talent for words and writing and reading, and she gave me positions in leadership roles where I could use these talents to influence the lives of people in my school and my community. Under her, I served as a bookend and as a captain of the Battle of the Books team. She truly was an inspiration to me. Following doing the leadership inventories and reflecting on leadership experiences I've had in the past, I created 3 objectives, and for each objective I came up with 2 goals. My first objective was patience. I wanted to become a more patient leader. In order to do this, I made 2 goals. My first goal was to look at a very patient leader and look at how they were patient with others. I chose my previous debate president, Fccla Ingram. Fccla Ingram embodies patience. So I followed her around for a couple of days and went to meetings with her, and I took note of her positive body language and positive verbal cues that she used when faced with problems. Then I applied these notes in our member and leadership Fccla meetings. These ended up proving very effective. I could use these patient tools in order to combat problems effectively. My second goal was to inspire others. In order to do this, I first read Inspiring Others, the Language of Leadership, and I took notes on what I could do to better inspire others. Then I decided to implement this in my debate class. I learned about each member of our debate class, and I tried to interact with them through team bonding events. This goal perhaps was the most fruitful of all of my goals that I set. I ended up mentoring a novice who was also my age with her oratory, and I helped her edit and make a speech that really was amazing, and I ended up helping her get 3rd in region. This proved to become a long-lasting friendship. My 3rd objective was delegation. I am someone that wants to do it all myself, and sometimes that just isn't possible and isn't the most effective way to lead. So my first goal was to let another member of my Fccla leadership plan a service activity. And then my second goal was to learn about each of my Fccla leadership members' talents and what they were interested in order to delegate accordingly. So after letting my VP of service plan a service project, we ended up writing thank you notes for local law enforcement. And this proved to be a really fun activity, and it gave me a lot more confidence in letting others plan service projects in our organization. My second goal, which was to learn about each member's interests and delegate accordingly, also went very well. When we were doing our leadership star event practice, I delegated each star event according to what I thought the person would be most interested in. And then they talked about that in our member meeting. This was very effective because it made it a lot more interesting to listen to because they were genuinely interested in what they were talking about. I got my outside perspective reflections from Cassie Hendricks, my debate coach, and Brenda Cross, my Fccla advisor. Looking back on this leadership experience and all of the things that I worked on, I learned so much about myself. I learned that I need to be better at delegating, be better at patience, and try to inspire others. I also learned that I am very good at tackling things head on. I'm very good at thinking critically. And often I am myself's own worst critic. I also learned that it's easy to make friends when you try to get to know people. Albert Einstein said, setting an example is not the main means of leadership, it is the only means of inspiring others. Throughout my life, I try to set an example. I've had many people in my life who were leaders by example. Many of them weren't even in leadership positions. They just chose to be a leader in my own life and to be an example to me. Leading by example has become one of my mottos. I strive to never ask anyone to do something that I wouldn't do. I strive to inspire others, be patient with them when challenges may arise, and delegate in order to not overwhelm myself and to give others leadership opportunities. I am really grateful for this time I had to reflect on my past leadership experiences and what I can do going into the future. Thank you.